too, and we'll pass them on. And now on to our chat. Very happy to have a follow-up. The first Neurodivergence in Game Development panel went really well and provided a lot of great tools. I've heard good feedback from folks who it has benefited. And now our folks are even further into their successful careers and even more insights. So if we can get folks to go ahead and turn on cameras, thank you. The wonderful Michelle Menard. There we go. Yeah, the incredible Pico Pup. And we also have Matt, who I'm trying to think what they said in Holy Grail, not appearing in this film. He's appearing in this panel, but the camera's not appearing. So
I tried. I really tried. Sorry.
So we're still going to turn it on for so only the camera folks are there, but you'll hear Matt. He'll just be invisible when it's his time. So if you have trouble hearing, anything like that, if you have questions, post it in the chat. And with that, I will let our panelists introduce their incredible selves and get out of their way.
Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, hello everybody. Welcome back to anyone who was here 5 freaking years ago for the first Neurodivergence talk. Awesome if you're back, and hello to all the new people who were not here a long time ago. So I am Michelle Menard. I am the Chief Creative Officer at Dragon Snacks Games. And before this, I was a system designer at various different places, and mostly that's how I've done my work, is by living in spreadsheets, as all spreadsheet people are neurodivergent. It's where we are happy. Don't want to take up too much time right now, but I want to save time for the end for people to shamelessly plug anything that they are working on, and we can do all that there. What was I going to say? And to follow up with Andrew, please do ask your questions in line as they come up. I would rather take them as we're talking so that they are in context. I would rather this be like a conversation and not just like this weird Q&A and then we have stuff at the end that then doesn't make sense. So please, 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 if you have questions, ask them and we will answer them in real time as they come up. So who wants to go next? Brooke or Matt? You're muted. Muted. Muted.
Muted!
Okay.
Oh no! I'm Brooke, my pronouns are she, pup. I am autistic and ADHD. Since last time, I'm a programmer at Blue Mammoth Games, and I'm a hobbyist developer in my own time working in Pico 8.
Very cool.
Nice. I'm Matt. I'm going to be coming to you live from the Shadow Realm today. My camera's not working. Sorry about that. I have ADHD, and I am the producer of the upcoming game Star Garden. But in the past, I also worked with Sega on Sonic, a small indie game. You may know of him, and Adult Swim as well.
And I failed at reading my own notes and did not say where my neurospiciness lives because that's how much I am paying attention right now. So yay! Good job for the other two because you followed directions and I did not. I am autistic. It would have been, I guess, Asperger's, but now that no longer exists in the DSM-V5, so now just yay, autistic. That's me. Fun times. Cool. So just to kind of, I guess, start for those who may be new to neurodivergence and are just here to learn more. I want to just like ask first how everyone here defines neurodiversity and what does that mean to you personally, so we can get some more, I guess, human answers to that, not just like ye olde textbook crap that AI Google spits out if you ask what it is.
Yeah. You want to go, Brooke?
Yeah, sure. So like, the easy definition for neurodivergence would be like any kind of mental condition or state that like deviates from social norms. They're often marginalized or misaligned because of that's just how we live in a society.
Yes, and there are rules in the society, and they like them to work in a certain way, and then it's sad when you don't, and you get yelled at a lot. Or maybe you don't, but I do, and it's fine. Also, I'm going to interrupt, and I expect you guys to interrupt me as well. Like, please, like, don't make this, like, very, like, oh, please, I want to be called on. It's like, just talk whenever you feel like it, and it's all good. But that is a really good definition. So you'd also hear the term neurotypical to be the other side of that coin to describe someone who is normie or normal, but neurotypical would be the kinder, nicer term for that. Did you have anything you wanted to add to that, Matt? I will call them people though, because I'm an ass.
I think that was a really good definition. For me, it was more so like it's a little bit harder to do the basics, but like at the same time, just to like with a good note in mind, just like it makes you more unique. It makes you think outside the box a lot more. I think with neurodivergence, you're a lot. Yeah, I mean, a lot of neurotypical people are too, but I feel like with neurodivergence, there's a lot of creativity there. So I think it's like an asset as well. But yeah, I think in layman's terms, Brooke gave a really good definition.
Yeah. Indeed, applaud yourself. And something that's kind of nice too is that what I liked was also then feeling like there was a community and a place to belong. Because I was late diagnosed. Like I was only diagnosed with autism at 36, which is fairly, I guess, more common for a woman. We're often misdiagnosed with other things. But relatively late. And at least growing up was like, I feel like a goddamn weird ass alien. No one's, oh God, it's so weird and awful and lonely. And so at least for me, I don't know if it's the same for you, but there is like a nice sense of also community, even though yes, it's a spectrum and everyone's different and expresses it different and has different traits. It still feels like, oh, it's not just this lonely ship sailing out in the ocean where you're like, what the hell's wrong with me? Like, no, there's nothing wrong. There are a lot of positive sides to it. And yes, there are challenges, but it is nice to actually have that structure around it too. So kind of in that vein, because I do want to keep this fairly, it is supposed to be a talk about, success and, the positive sides of things and just like boo-hoo, everything's terrible. But are there any kinds of, either terms or way people approach it that you've experienced either working in games or just in your life in general that bother you? That when you're like either labeled a certain way or talked about a certain way, just again, in the idea of for people who are interested in learning more and don't know that perhaps ways they think about things or talk about things can be a microaggression or offensive. Silence.
Matt can go first on this one.
Oh, sure. Okay. I was just I didn't want to interrupt. I think with when I said like, it's kind of hard to do the basics sometimes. I do feel that in the way of like sometimes I'm forgetful, sometimes I'm hyper, sometimes I can be annoying. And I think when I was younger, and I guess my family and my friends didn't really get it, which is fine. They got it when I was older, but when I was younger, people would kind of point that out in a more negative light, especially when I was forgetful. And it's not that I don't mean to, but I feel like a lot of like it makes you feel like you're dumb sometimes, and maybe that's like the wrong way to say it, but I definitely felt like that when people would be rude about just sort of the quirks I have, I guess. Um, but yeah, that's somewhat how I feel. Thankfully, it hasn't been like too crazy for me. But yeah, I just feel like just some of the little stuff can kind of build up, I guess.
Yeah, there's a lot of like misconceptions or mischaracterizations in lots of media about stuff like the OCD detective or the idiot savant, which is kind of like a mixed bag of representation with good and bad, in how like some parts might be like accurate to the experience, but either like it makes light of a lot of situations or just gets details wrong to suit like the purposes of moving the plot forward. And so it's hard to kind of get a feel for it without knowing like real people.
True. I didn't even think about getting into media portrayals in this, but if you guys want to go deeper into that, we can do
No,
that.
that's also a great point. I didn't really think of that either. No, there definitely is some like weird portrayals, I would say. And I think thankfully, that's a lot in the past. Um, at this very moment, as crazy as this world is, I feel like there's been a lot better representation of that sort of, you know, kind of who we are, I guess. And I could be wrong, but I've definitely seen, like in cartoons and other shows, there's definitely been some improvements there.
The thing is, there's always been like neurodivergent characters. The thing is that they weren't like called neurodivergent. It's just this is our funny uncle who loves trains. And that's played for laughs, but like it's a realistic depiction of real people.
Yeah, and like something with like one that comes to mind for me is Entrapta in the new She-Ra reboot on Netflix. The writers speak about her being neurodivergent, but she wasn't actually ever called out as that in the show. And I guess that's something that I don't know if it bugs you peeps, but it bothers me a little bit when they're like, oh yeah, we plan this person to be autistic, we plan this person to be ADHD, but then they just kind of have it off on a sidebar and you have to go like read something on Reddit to be like, oh yeah, and you're like, what was wrong with mentioning that actually in the context of the show at some point? I feel like then you could have actually had a more like cogent conversation about it, or like, helped, especially with cartoons, kids identify like, oh yeah, that is someone that, I see myself represented, where now they're like left wondering sometimes like, was it intentional or is it actually a mistake? Am I misreading that? I don't know. But I overthink things as part of it. So maybe I am also just overthinking.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, it does feel a little performative at times where people will say like a character is this or that, but they won't really show it. Which, I mean, it's just kind of like come on, if you're gonna do it, then do it. Like, I don't know.
I don't want to go too down the media rabbit hole, but there's also the inverse where these characters have like clear signs of neurodivergence or some other kind of marginalization, and like fans are like, oh my god, I love this character, like how you designed them X, and the creator might like fire back on Twitter like, X, no, they're Y. I like. And it's just like intertextual media has done as much good as bad as it has for creators and their content.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
And I fully expect to like do this and rabbit hole off into random directions because you put a bunch of neurodivergent people in a room with no adult.
we'll just talk all day. We're gonna talk.
Go everywhere. And be prepared for what you've all signed up for, is I guess I'm all I'm gonna say. It's fine. I'm gonna do my best to moderate, but yeah. Moderating does not come naturally to me either. Cool. So kind of shifting back to games in particular, and also like again from a more positive standpoint, we've touched on this a little bit so far, but what would you say are some or some particular unique strengths that you have brought to a project or a team recently, with some kind of example of like how you were able to say perhaps solve a challenge or a problem that the more neurotypical people on the team might have been struggling with, but then your neurodivergent superpowers came into play and saved the day?
I guess I could go, if you don't mind, Brooke.
Yeah, go ahead.
As being a producer can be tough sometimes, and especially like a high position, because you got to work with people a lot, right? And being neurodivergent sometimes for some people, that could be tough. And I would say at the beginning, it was tough for me at first, especially when I was younger. But like what I've learned in my years, I'm an old man now. What I've learned in my years is that people are just people. Like they all have their problems, they all have their issues. We're all going through something, and just understanding that people may need help sometimes, or people may need a light push forward, is kind of the best way forward. So with my team, I like to make sure that they're heard and they're seen, and like I'm not the one who puts the foot down. It's like a team effort. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like stuff like that that I really think my own experience of maybe not even this is gonna sound quirky, but like not feeling like I'm being listened to has kind of made me want to move in the direction of, hey, like I'm here for you, like I understand you, I know you're a person too, like if we have a disagreement we could talk, like, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I think my experience over the years has kind of culminated. But yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to hear what y'all think.
Yeah, so for me, as kind of like a lower level employee, like I am able to have like a skill set that has strengths related to my neurodivergence. Like being able to like ADHD and kind of a shorter attention span is beneficial in some senses where like I can hop either between tasks more rapidly with like less inertia, or being able to like prototype and like try things out in a quicker, more comfortable manner. And on the opposite end, there's what some would call uh, hyper focus, which I think we'll get into later, but what I like to call dedication to the bit, because it's not something like you can really
Yeah.
choose to turn on or off. Or you can't choose what's funny, but sometimes you'll get very enthralled in an idea, and if it's something that like you're excited to work on and that's relevant and beneficial to your work, then that can be a great boon to yourself and whatever project you're working on at the moment.
Oh my god, hyperfocus. We can talk about hyperfocus now. I like your definition for it a lot better though, because oh my god. I don't know if it's true for you too, but if someone keeps trying to interrupt you while you're like in that moment, I don't know, it's rage inducing for me. It's like I am having a moment with this piece of math and I would like to express my love for it and just like massage it and play with it. Like, why are you trying to talk to me about schedules? Not saying that production is terrible.
Yeah, and like especially with stuff with math where like you have to either like have it on paper or like in some way in your head where you if you lose your state then you have to just start from scratch.
Start over.
Yeah.
Yes.
And as a programmer I do have to do a lot of math.
Yeah. I'd say like half my job is looking at spreadsheets and doing math. So have you like discovered or kind of invented any plans or I guess what's the word I'm looking for is like systems like have like helped your teammates let you like let them know that please don't bother me right now, that has worked, or do you find you just still get interrupted whenever and there's nothing to be done about it?
Mostly I work remote, so generally I have the ability to look at messages when I'm able. Not to say like a stray ping won't like take my attention away, but if it's not like I'm not gonna have people coming over coming to my desk looking over my shoulder to bug me.
Yeah, I
Do you have any
do.
problems?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, I was asking if you had anything to follow up on.
I did
Don't
feel
apologize.
that when I worked in the office setting. I also work remote now. But like people looking over your shoulder is like the weirdest feeling to me. I never really liked it. Um, it's like you have to prove you're doing your job, which I mean I am. I'm working there. Like but I guess it's kind of different um for I don't know what point I was making there, but it just felt weird. So I totally get what you mean.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like because I also cannot work with my back to the door. Like I can't have my desk or back when I used to work in the office because I also now work full time remote. Maybe this is a thing. Everyone just stay at home. Don't go into the office anymore. Like which we could talk about remote work too, but like I would rearrange the office furniture even in group offices to be heinously weird. Like I cannot sit with my back to the door and just have randos walking behind me. It was so distracting. And yeah, just like it was creepy. Like, oh God, there's someone back there and I can't see them. They can see what I'm doing. They can look at my screen and be like, it's just spreadsheets. There's nothing on it. But it's still like, So yeah, would literally like even like put desks behind each other in weird flag lot type positions. We're like, I'm sorry, we're gonna stare at each other now over the monitor because I have to face this way, and we're just gonna be awkward in this office together now and deal with it. But most people were pretty good about that kind of accommodation. Be like, you're just weird. That's fine. We'll be weird roommates together, and it's not a big deal. So kind of along those lines too, have you found that either there have been certain accommodations, either in person or remote, either for yourself or for your teammates, like especially with you, Matt, like working with a bunch of other people as like a producer, that you found have been like particularly useful or beneficial, or like any insight into navigating that process, like how to ask for accommodations?
I kind of just give people space if they need it. Like if they want to go work on, something on their own, like if they have an idea and they need some time to work on it without like me in the call or something, then I'm totally down. But thankfully we've come up with like a good, like we're working and like we play games in the chat system where if you're not working on something, one person's like streaming Elden Ring in the chat or something. And it's more like a chill session rather than like a work meeting, which
Hmm.
I personally like. I think it's fine to do both things. You don't have to be 100% of the time. I think it's okay. Um, and especially when it comes to more creative stuff like story, I feel like those are the best things because you're kind of like thinking on the fly. You're not kind of like you're bouncing off of everyone. We wrote our entire lore Bible. We set up a 1 hour meeting, and that turned into like 10 hours of everyone just wanting to be in that call, making our lore Bible for the game.
Oh my god.
And it was so fun. But like that's it. I mean, like, it doesn't have to be like I feel like the best teams are just groups of friends that like are honest and hang out and really get each other. And that's what I try to culminate in our team. That, we get you and I know how it is. And I'm just a guy. But yeah, that's kind of sorry, I yapped a little too much there. But yeah, that's
No,
kind
you
of
didn't.
my answer there.
You're all good.
So for me, one of the things I've definitely liked is smaller teams on like a project or a portion. Having more people like at a meeting or just on a task is just more to keep track of, more overhead, and generally means like you don't know, like it's a it lets you have more control, exert more control where you can, especially with meetings, which I already consider like a huge productivity killer, because so often at my last job I'd be invited to meetings that had no bearing on me, and it would just like cut through the whole day and be not just like like a waste of time, but an actively boring. But being boring for me, like just like is a stab in the chest to lose all momentum for like the hours surrounding the meeting. Um, as far as like other accommodations, um, as long as you kind of generally have management on your side, you can kind of just like ask for things you need, whether it's like um, keyboards that are better for your productivity or something. But I also want to say how much like something that you wouldn't really think as um, accommodation, but like job security, just like being able to
Yeah.
like feel safe and secure in your position and not having to like look over your shoulder will do wonders to your brain from like being paranoid and second guessing yourself at every turn and worrying, am I doing good enough? Which like every or neurodivergent person I know is very much like a people pleaser and like always worried about what they think,
Yes.
about what other people think of them and their performance.
The anxiety is real. Like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Especially right
Yeah,
now,
absolutely.
how the industry is doing. It's just very, oh gosh, it's just not stable.
It's on fire. You can
It
just
is definitely on fire.
It is worse than 2008 right now. Like, it is probably the worst I've ever seen. Honestly. No, I totally relate to that though. I mean, I'm working from home, but I'm not working in games, but both when I was in games and currently not, it is a struggle every week to be like, hey, like, am I doing okay? Like, am I fucking up? Am I fucking up and nobody's telling me? I have no idea. And then, like, my bosses are like, no, man, you're fine. And I'm like, but everything's on fire. And they're like, trust me, I will tell you if you're fucking up. And I think we should normalize being able to seek that reassurance, because I think, like, for people like myself who are in production and project management positions, the expectations are sometimes really hard to define. And when the expectations are hard to define, it becomes harder to really get a gauge, like, especially as a neurodivergent person like me living with ADHD. I'm really all about the expectation, and sometimes that expectation, by virtue of what it is difficult to define, which makes that anxiety occur.
Hey, Neo, do you want to introduce yourself? Maybe flip on camera?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have camera permissions. Apparently I need like permissions or something
All right,
like
I'll
that.
give you permissions while you introduce yourself.
Okay. Hi, I'm NeoGC. I am also Ina. If you've met Ezra Kirsch, I'm her partner. I also go by Kelby professionally. I have been working in the games industry for about 5 years. I've worked for EA. I've worked 3 years at Activision on Call of Duty Warzone. And I am currently working out of industry, but looking to break back in once again as we maneuver all of this craziness that is currently happening in the industry. So trying to get more involved with the folks around here in Georgia. I've been living here for just barely 3 years or so. And it's really nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you too, and thank you for sharing. And yes, it's terrible, and good luck to you for breaking back in. It is just such a horrible time
crazy.
right now.
And I think you brought up an amazing point, by the way. I didn't mean to interrupt. You go first.
No, you keep going. Go.
Cool. I think when it comes to me personally, and I don't know if y'all agree, I just want to know if I'm doing a good job. And that could mean if I'm not doing a good job, you can tell me too. But I hate the anticipation of it. I hate the uncertainty. If I'm not meeting expectation, I would hope that the person above me is just honest with me and tells me what I can do to improve, not like a wishy-washy way of being like, oh, you're not meeting our expectations.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
I've gotten that before. I'm like,
Right. It
on
needs
my
to be a
first job,
conversation. Yeah.
my first job right out of college, I remember this. It was like a normal public relations agency. They would be like, you're doing this wrong. And I'm like, how am I doing this wrong? And then they wouldn't tell me. And I'm like, just tell me, dude. Like, I want to learn. And that's like the most annoying thing. And as a producer, I try to be honest with my friends and my team, because if you're not being honest with your team, it's just gonna blow up eventually, and it's not gonna be pretty for anyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, working in the industry as well in these big companies, I totally understand that vibe.
Yeah.
I get it, and I see you, and I understand.
Yeah,
I
I mean, as a producer, like, the protecting the team and shielding the team from all of the bullshit is what I see as a critical part of my role. And like working in live ops or now working in PM work, I mean, like, at my day job right now, it is one of the most disgusting garbage fires I've ever seen in my entire career right now.
Oh man.
That I am in, and that's why I mentioned this, because I am having these conversations with my bosses right now. I'm like, hey man, am I like fucking up? This is really, really crazy difficult. And they're like, nah, you're doing just fine. And I'm like, but everything's fucked. And they're like, It's fine. That's not all those reasons. The things that are fucked are not because of you, you know. And so, like, as a producer, like, we have to like shield the team, and sometimes that means delivering bad news or commiserating and being like, yeah, it's pretty fucked. It's bad, but
Yeah.
like we're gonna work towards fixing it, you know. And that's kind of, it's a hard boat to be in, but I think like you and me, Matt, can relate to that feeling.
I just need things to be very literal at times, or else I'm totally not going to get it. And I try to pick up on like sarcasm or nuance, but
Yeah.
like there are some times where the vibe just hits the conversation, and I it blows past me, and I do my
Yeah.
best, but
Do you ever
I
feel?
so,
Do you ever
what's
feel
up?
like
I'm
data?
sorry.
Do you ever feel like Data in Star Trek, where like somebody tries to make a joke, but it absolutely does not hit you? It just goes and it hits you like completely literally, and then they have to explain that they were joking to you, and you're like, "Oh, okay,
And I'm like,
yeah,
okay, all right, I get it now. But I
yeah,
just feel like more honesty in this industry would do wonders for a lot of people, especially the people who need that sort of reassurance. And it could be good or bad news. I mean, obviously the industry's kind of in a bad limbo right now. I'm not trying to make it all doom and gloom, but
I mean, but that,
just
again, honesty. We just said we wanted honesty, and that is an honest answer. Is yes, the industry is in
yeah,
a pile of fucking garbage right now, and so yeah,
yeah." It's not great.
support your local indie game, please.
yes. Oh my god. So kind of on that same line of like being literal and like literal thinking, wanting that kind of very honest communication, both upwards and downwards. How does masking fit in for that for you guys, or peeps, I should say, to be more generous? I use guys as like a horrible gender
You're
neutral, and I
good.
know I should stop. I'm terrible. I can't help it. I'm old. But masking, 'cause, like masking at the office, masking around others. Do you find that you are doing it? Do you like doing it? Do you hate that you're doing it? Does it bother people around you? Do you feel like you actually have a different work mask than you do for like home mask or like friend mask? And how does that affect your work? Leo is
So,
left. No, it's too much.
I could go, I guess.
Go for it.
I I think people have noticed when I'm masking, especially when I'm not working in the games industry. Like when I worked in government and when I worked in others like normal stuff. People are like, "All right, you gotta loosen up a little bit. Like you don't have to be so like." And it's not like I'm uptight. I just like I'm very to the point, and it's like okay. And then when I am, it's just like they're like, "Oh, this guy is neurodivergent." Like, so it's tough because I would really just like to be myself like I am right now and like how I am with my team currently. But my mom used to tell me, no matter what, the world keeps spinning. So, and it kind of sucks because you kind of have to, in those jobs, it's not really a choice. You have to kind of accommodate yourself to that line of work, and it sucks, and I get it. So really just learning how to still be yourself and also, adhere to the business side is kind of a struggle, and I totally get that. Um, it's just something you have to figure out over time, and there's no really easy answer for masking, in my opinion.
And I realize I use the term without defining it. Would anyone like to define the term masking for those who may not know in the chats?
so I would say masking is just, it's what it sounds like. It's putting on a mask to like appear like you're someone who you aren't, usually like a neurotypical person with conventional neurotypical behaviors, like understanding sarcasm and I don't know, s- sports.
Sports.
Um,
How about that
Super
Super Bowl
Bowl.
game? Am I right?
You mean the
Yeah,
Bad Bunny concert where something happened around it? Because that's all I knew about it.
yeah. Basically,
yeah. Um, for me, I try to mask as like I try to eliminate masking on my own, because I don't want to. I want to be myself with friends and have them enjoy me for who I am. But about in the workplace, I absolutely do mask, and a lot of it takes the form of like biting my tongue and like resisting like impulses to, or like my first thoughts that come to my mind, whether it be like very literal interpretations or kind of like quips even, just to try and like maintain what people would consider professional.
I feel that, and
It
it
is.
doesn't it feel like soul crushing at times? Am I? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
No,
Like,
it is.
Yeah.
it sucks. It's not great.
Yeah.
It's exhausting too. Like I would come home, like back when at my previous job at I'm not gonna say the company's name, but at my previous job, which was in person, and I would be at the office for like 8 to 10 hours a day, usually more closer to 10. It was just physically exhausting. I come
Oh
home and just beat.
Lord.
Yeah, because it was like I'm just
Absolutely.
tired. It's great now. Because now I can just turn the camera off and make whatever fucking face I want. And it doesn't
Yeah. I think a lot about a term that my team at Activision used a lot for release management called peacetime and wartime, where like when shit is on fire and everything's fucked, that's wartime. And peacetime is when we can actually calm down and relax. I find that I tend to mask more during wartime because there's more pressure for us to like do this, do this, do this. And I find that I adopt some kind of different persona I could not describe to you eloquently. And then like when things are letting off, then I think there's more of just me. And like I have to balance the whole like responsibilities of my job, but also like being a good person and giving a shit and caring about people. And I think that makes that tightrope makes the whole masking act even more like complicated, you know?
So we are getting close to time, and I obviously wrote way too many possible talking points, so excuse me while I scroll through my little document. Are there any, I guess, like policies that management or your team lead or just someone you worked with that have implemented, either at a physical office or for your team that you have found to be particularly beneficial that you wish more people did or knew about?
Do y'all want me to go first again?
Go for it.
Sure. I would say when I worked at Sega, my boss, probably one of the best bosses I've ever had in my life, if not the best, because he just really tried to get to know me. And I was an intern. I was 19. It was my first time living out of Georgia. I lived in Burbank for a bit, which was a big shift for me. um, and he really just kind of took me in under his wing and just really got it. Like when people would, there was one time where someone blamed me for something that I didn't do, and then he was like, he didn't do that, and here's the proof, and that was awesome. It was, they thought I like stole a plush, and I didn't steal a plush. Of course, I'm not stupid, but um, yeah, it's just stuff like that, like having your back and being your friend. He really tried to be my friend, and like we would hang out and grab dinner and stuff like that. And it made me more like encouraged to really do my best at work. And he would give me
Yeah.
like opportunities that I probably weren't in my job description, but he trusted me with. And it really set up what I do now. I mean, this was like half of my life ago now, but today I feel like it's been like it's stuck with me. It definitely, he's definitely the boss I want to be to my, team. And and even though like, I mean, I told him like I'm ADHD and stuff like this, he didn't care. Like he was just like, you're you, and that's awesome. And like, because back then I thought ADHD held me back, and like a long time coming, I've learned it's definitely an asset to me. It's definitely made me more me and more creative and more one of a kind. So, um, that guy definitely helped. I TLDR, just be kind, just be cool. You never know what type of impression you're going to leave on someone.
So awesome. So kind of in that vein, is there any general piece of advice or book or influencer or channel that you wish more people would know about, or you're like, this would make my life better and everyone should watch this thing or know about this thing, and then we'd all be living a kinder, happier, better world?
I don't really watch ADHD influencers if there are any.
There are.
More so. I'm not sure. Maybe y'all will have a better suggestion.
I-
You don't have to raise your hand, just say something.
Well, I will. Okay, but I really wish that Discord had the raise hand feature because I find it to be a lot more polite. But well, I'll tell you what I've been recently looking at. Like I mentioned, like my job right now is pretty stressful, and my girlfriend showed me Ashley Birch's "I'm Glad You're Here" or "I'm Happy You're Here" series, which is really really well done, and it's a lot of mini episodes about like anxiety, like therapy and mental illness and mental health and anxiety, and it's really well informed, well researched, but it's very like she is doing like a children's TV show bit with like puppets and set pieces and all this stuff, but she's explaining like, hey, here are some things you can do to manage anxiety, and here's what grounding techniques would help you and stuff like that. I think for people like us who are more prone to getting in our own heads about things on the job, I really like the way that information is presented. Also, Ashley Birch is awesome. She's a great voice actress. If you haven't heard her, you probably have heard her, actually. She's in a ton of games. So, yeah, I would check that out. Ashley Birch, I'm happy you're here. It's on YouTube.
So I'm just gonna chime in to say I don't particularly have any creators specifically for neurodivergent that I follow. I feel I was diagnosed as a child, and I've had a long time to like get acquainted with myself and love myself, and I feel like it would be great still for like information and like happening reasons, but I feel like it's not something that I particularly need at this time.
Therapy's been really helpful for me too. I mean, I guess that's the ultimate influencer when you think about it.
Shout out to
honestly.
therapy.
Shout out to therapy. I'm really glad that my therapist is also able to like very gently speak through things and then also be like, yeah, that's really fucked up. Man, that sucks.
Have y'all heard of this? You can just give someone money and they have to listen to you.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And validate what you're saying. It's great. And also, for those who may not know, you can get therapy from other countries. Like, it's cheaper sometimes to get it out of England. You just have to work with the time difference.
Oh.
And they've got some really great ones trained for neurodivergent people as well. That's how I know this, because I couldn't find a fucking therapist in America during the pandemic. It was great. So, England.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we have about 5 minutes left, and I said I wanted to save people shameless plugs and what they're working for the end, so we end on a high note. Yay! And then everyone remembers it when they leave the stream. So who has something they would like to share and plug shamelessly? Go for it.
I could go first for sure.
Go for it.
Anyone? Just.
Oh, I thought you said you were going first.
Oh no, I said y'all. I said y'all. Y'all could go first.
Oh, okay. I misheard. Yeah, no.
We're waiting for you.
I work for Brawlhalla. I'm not about to shill for Ubisoft. Go to Game Dev Brook itch.io and play some of my cool games. Most of them are free, and you can buy Pushimo if you want a cool Tetris-like made in Pico 8. It's wonderful.
Pushimo's awesome. Can confirm. Have bought. It's good.
And also vouch for Brooks Pico Games because I've followed her work for a while now, and she's pretty freaking awesome.
I make games about fun little arcade games. I make games about being weird and trans, and I make games just just to make them as small as possible, just to see how I can push it.
Matt.
Yeah, I am working on a game called Star Garden. I could show the trailer, but I could just say it here too, just to make it a little quicker. It is a game that I am working on. It is like a mix of Kirby Air Ride and the Chow Garden from Sonic Adventure. Our Kickstarter did really well, thankfully, thank God. So we just been working on it in the background, and development's going really well. If you want to check it out, you could go to getstargarden.com or to go to our Kickstarter, which is actually late back, extending in 4 days. So get it while you can. And wishliststargarden.com to check out our free demo. So there you go. And also that's our Steam page. So yeah.
Awesome.
I guess I'll plug something I mentioned at the beginning here, but I am looking for work in games. I'm a producer of 5 years, 3 in AAA. I've worked in indie, I've worked in serious games, I've worked in AAA, I've done all kinds of things under the sun. A lot of my experience is in live operations and QA, but that's all to say that even if your team is not looking for a producer, I still want to be able to help and pitch in and things. So, Star Garden sounds really, really cool. If you want an extra hand for play testing or any kind of help I can give, whether that's bug testing and QA passes, any kind of production consultation, just anything I can help, I want to be able to give towards this community. So however you want to leverage my talents, I have a website, kelbm.com. That's my port website, but please, I just want to help. I just want to help people make cool stuff. I just want to get back and I want to work on games and make games and delight people, even if I'm not currently doing that for my day job. So.
And we may have tricked them into being a mentor for the Best in Georgia contest.
Oh, you let the cat out of the bag, Andrew. Come on, man.
And just so you'll know, Kahedro on YouTube says they're calling Star Garden the Kirby Air Riders killer.
No.
Nice.
No. Listen.
Masahiro Sakurai is going to send a letter to your door.
No. We are very appreciative of Mr. Sakurai and his work. And also, we have the composer of Air Riders helping with our game, Mr. Shogo Sakai. He also worked on
I love
Melee,
Shogo Sakai.
Super Smash Brothers Melee,
The
Mother
legend.
3, the original Kirby Air Ride. So we have great respect for that team. We're just another game. There's no killer.
Yeah.
We're just another game.
No, that's a
But
that's
I
a
appreciate
legend.
I appreciate the kind comment, but you know what I'm saying.
No, Matt, I would be really curious to know how you got in contact with Shogo Sakai. I've had brief interactions with a few composers over the years, and I'm a huge video game OST aficionado. My music library is really big. I love video game music so much, so I would be curious to hear about that.
Off stream,
Yeah.
on stream. I really don't care.
Yeah.
We gotta end soon. But.
Yeah, well, I also got to go, but if you don't mind, I could send you a friend
Absolutely.
request. I'd love to hear about that and just help you, however, because I love Kirby Air Ride. I grew up playing it. I wanna help if you're willing to help. Have any kind of help, whether that's just testing or whatever.
Yeah, no, thank you. I will accept immediately. Let me do that.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. You were all amazing panelists and had some really, really awesome and poignant points. And it was really great listening to everybody's opinions and experiences. So also thank you, everybody, for coming and listening. And I'm taking Andrew's bit, and Andrew can continue on.
And you forgot to do your last plug.
Me? Oh, me. Yes. So hi. I work for Dragon Snacks Games. I helped co-found it with Jim McLean and Chris Nabkoski about a year and a half ago. And we are building online safe third spaces primarily targeted at Gen Z and Gen Alpha, but that is the official marketing plug. But really it's private server only RPG combat, arcade-like town builder where you can just play with only you and your friends. There's no randos, there's no matchmaking. It's just you and the people that you want to be there. So it's a very safe, welcoming environment. And you can help us build that by going to our Discord, Dragon Snacks Games, where we have public playtests even now in pre-production. Basically, we're just entering production now. And so please come talk to us, give us feedback, come help mail the game. And we really, really want to know people's opinions on what we're doing now early because we want it to be as inclusive as possible. And we're running a dating like Valentine sim whole thing right now too. I'm not really sure what's going on, but you can like look at NPCs and see if you want to date them or something going on like that. And also, if you didn't find me completely annoying, I'll be keynoting at CIMFest, as Andrew mentioned, in a month, I think. And that is going to be about redefining success in games and what it means to be successful, and also being angry at things and talking about cookbooks, because it is a meandering talk, because that's what I do. Yeah.
CIMFest is always an amazing experience, so make sure you join us. Very much looking forward to Michelle keynoting it, and I know some of our other speakers have their own plans being laid as well. So thanks to all our presenters. Their links are in the chat. Please check those out as well. If you have comments and thoughts on Neurodivergence, you can share them in the chat, and the VOD will be up. So feel free to use that as a place to converse as well as the GGDA Discord. Thanks again to all of our presenters. Love to have the drop-ins too. That always makes it an even better time. And we look forward to seeing you. Next up is Transformer and the future of games. Look at all aspects of AI, not just a Gen AI thing. Come join us at KSU Center. And with that, have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, week, life.
It's good meeting you all in chat and commiserating and all of those things. Thanks, everybody.
Awesome. Great therapy session, everybody.
Yeah, we love the yap. There's nothing us game developers like more than yapping.